So this course is designed for the Palo Alto F5 combo, and this course is only I'm charging 11,999, which is 25% of the actual price. Okay. In this, I'll be covering in both the courses from basic to advanced. If I'm saying from basic, from scratch to advanced level. Okay. If I'm saying scratch means how to do the licensing of the F5 devices, how we can request for the licenses, and how we can debug packet capture. Same in Palo Alto, how we can change the host name, how we can assign the IP, how we can assign the interface IP, all kinds of deployment model. That will come later. Once I'll be explaining syllabus, I'll cover that. Okay. Class timing would be for this code Palo Alto 9:30 to 10:30 Monday to Friday, and for F5 we have session 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday, and 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on weekdays. Okay, these are the course. Why I have chosen this combo? Because this technology in very much in demand in today. Okay, so if you understand Palo Alto, because every company needs security, every company need availability, means their data should be always available. That's why I am taking combo of the Palo Alto and F5. Okay, before we start today's session, I'll give my intro. I have total 14 years of experience. I'm currently working in Deloitte as a consultant, and I'm currently working on Palo Alto and F5 technologies. I'm working on Palo Alto, LTM, GTM, and WAF. This someone asked in the chat. This course is only for the Palo plus F5 LTM. If you need ASM and GTM, that we do also cover, but that will charge you extra 8,000 each module. Okay, 8K plus 8K. Okay. If you will take individual course here, it will also charge you. It will also cost you 8,000, but in combo, I am offering in 12,000. And this offer is valid till tomorrow. After that, from Monday, I'll be continuing with Palo Alto, and from tomorrow, I'll continue with F5. Okay. Anyone having any query till now?
So what about the duration of the course?
Duration, who is asking? One second.
Prem.
Prem, hi Prem. So this is completely approx 80 hours live classes,
Okay.
Fif- 50 to 55 hours is Palo Alto,
Mm-hmm.
and approx 25 to 30 hours is F5 LTM. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a 80 to 85 hours live class.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone having any query? I'm going to cover this detail. So first we'll start with why not why not only AI, why this combo? AI is a kind of tool, but AI application runs on the network. AI is a tool, correct? But
Yes.
for AI also we need network, servers, cloud, and internet. And who provide these? Network team, security team only. If network is not secure, AI data gets leaked. If network is not available, AI apps goes down. If network is slow, AI become useless. Okay. So without network, without security, without availability of data, we can't do anything. Okay. So the security is provided by Palo Alto, and availability and performance is F5. Now, why this combo is powerful? We'll discuss about Palo Alto. If you want to work in cyber security, SOC, cloud security, zero trust, Palo Alto is very much in demand. F5 LTM for the load balancing, data center, cloud, high availability. Together, you can in any enterprise network scenario, you can work after this course. Now we'll start with Palo Alto. First, we'll go with the agenda of class. First, we'll discuss about prerequisite for the Palo Alto and F5. So what would the prerequisite? Basic IP and security knowledge is nice to have. Basic IP. If I'm saying about IP, so you guys need to understand what is the IP, what is the IPv4, what is the private IP, public IP. This should be clear. A student need to understand basic networking. A student need to understand networking fundamentals. Who is this course for? This course is for a student trying to obtain the PCNSE certification. Yeah, Palo Alto certification. This course is trying to in Palo Alto, who is already working on Palo Alto Firewall and try to enhance their skill. What you will learn in this course, Palo Alto, will cover overview of Palo Alto certification, importance of network security, objective of the training, Palo Alto. Can you please don't write on a screen who was writing? Company background means what is the background of the Palo Alto, what is the product from a product Palo Alto have, what is the next generation firewall architecture, why Palo Alto is a next generation firewall, then firewall essential, what is the basic configuration, management interface, monitoring and reporting, how we can check the logs and generate the report, security policy and user ID configuring security policy, user identification and authentication, multi-factor authentication. App IT is a patented feature of the Palo Alto, how we can block threats using profile, each and everything I'm going to cover in detail. What is a wildfire versus malware? In Palo Alto, for zero-day attack, there is a wildfire analysis solution. What is a zero-day attack? Anyone aware about zero-day?
Zero attack means if any a new virus come and that is our firewall is unable to
Well,
understand.
yes, firewall doesn't have signature. First time someone used that pattern tactics to attack. Correct? Even though for that Palo Alto have wildfire analysis solution. Okay, great Manoj. Configuration, how we can do the configuration and licensing, viewing report and generate viewing log and generate a report, then protection profile, zone protection profile, DOS attack, how we can create a profile, how we can block packet based attack, configuring zone, handling DOS attack, how we can handle DOS attack, how we can create a profile, how we can rate limit, these things I'll cover. Then device ID, block threats, monitoring device threats and traffic information. These things I am going to cover in detail. Then I'll hands on everything, whatever I covered, I'll show in the lab and how we can create, how we can protect. If anyone preparing for the certification, that also I'll cover. And I think one part is missed. VPN part, I think not included here. VPN. Also, I'll cover VPN, side to side VPN, remote VPN, global protect, how we can integrate from AD. For VPN, there is a 6 to 7 dedicated hours for the VPN. Okay.
Then
Centralized
HA
VPN.
HA is missing.
Yes, HA also I'll cover. HA, how we can create active standby, how we can create active. That also I'll cover, and how most importantly how we troubleshoot.
Panorama,
Sorry,
Panorama, SP3 Panorama.
SP3 architecture I have already mentioned. I'll cover the SP3. Okay,
Okay.
single pass
And
parallel processing and packet flow that will come together. And panorama also I'll cover. There is one session for the panorama. If you want dedicated session for panorama, that is the separate code. This is for Palo Alto Firewall, but there is one dedicated lecture for the panorama. How we can onboard panorama
yeah, on board
and
that's
what are
that's
the
an exam, no? On
yes,
board
yes,
order.
yes, that I'll cover.
Also, we can that firewall update pan OS that thing.
Yeah, that I'm going to cover how we can upgrade in HA and what are the procedure from basic, how we can raise a change, do we need downtime, do we need maintenance into each and everything I'll cover.
Okay.
Okay.
One part is missing there, packet debugging and all.
Debug, that's what I mentioned in troubleshooting. We'll cover in debug as well, how we can from counters as well, how we can troubleshoot if policy is missing, log is not getting generated, how we can identify from packet capture, how we can troubleshoot from the debug. That I'm going to cover. Okay. Any other
Yes.
query?
Okay.
Anyone? Any query related to this? You can ask. Alan, Devendra, Amol.
Sir, the question is that it means whatever the cases comes real scenario, so we need to, it means you discuss in this session or not.
Yeah, that you can discuss, and also after step by step, I'll be covering. So let's suppose you started with troubleshooting some approach, some of guys is not aware about the things. We'll go step by step. If you find that, let's suppose I'm covering dual ISP, during that time you face some issue, you can discuss that. Let's suppose I'm covering VPN. If you have VPN related question, you can discuss. If I'm covering profile, if you have question related to profile, you can discuss. Apart from this, any other issue if you want to discuss, you can ping me WhatsApp and we can connect and discuss. Okay.
So, sir, also you can guide us interview question as well. Yeah,
Yes, I'll schedule a mock interview as well. I'll give you the interview question as well, and this after the class you will get a recording at that recording lifetime accessible. Okay.
Sir, sir, you are also covered the SSL related issues in this
SSL
course.
means so we have topic SSL decryption, what is the use of SSL decryption, how SSL work, how what is SSL handshake, that we have dedicated topic. Without that we can't cover the security profiles, so that I'm going to cover. Yeah, SSL
Buffer,
related.
buffer attack and other all. Right?
Sorry.
Buffer related buffer, there is no buffer overflow sometimes. Maybe that is a DOS attack and then the buffer is
Yes, yes,
there are
yes,
no
yes, yes,
protection
yes,
like that.
yes. Yeah, so during when I'll be covering DOS protection profile, what are the best practice? I'll cover that. Okay, now we start with firewall. What is firewall? Anyone? I'll not go to the much deeper like what is the legacy firewall, types of firewall, each and everything. We'll cover in later. Today we'll cover what is firewall and how we create a policy and all. We'll cover that. Anyone? What is firewall?
Firewall is a device that is protected from our outside network to inside. It means if anyone from outside, if want to access to our internal network, then the firewall is in between the that and that protect from outside the.
Yes, correct. So firewall is a security control that inspect, control, and enforce security policy between different trust zone. Okay. So if there is two different zone, it inspect, control, and enforce security policy between two different zone. What is the next generation firewall? What is the old firewall? Old firewall was old, yeah, legacy firewall was working on IP and port. But in today, next generation firewall have capability to identify app ID, content ID, and user ID. Means it will not only identify the IP, it will identify the user. If this is IP, if someone is trying to access from 10.1.1.10, so instead of IP, it can identify that its IP belong to Manoj, Prem, or any other else. If I want to create a policy basis of application earlier, let's suppose I was creating a policy on what is the port of the DNS?
53. 53.
53 UDP 53 by default, but TCP it also work during zone transfer. So earlier if we allowed UDP 53, what was happening? Torrent also, BitTorrent also use UDP 53, so it will also allow. But nowadays, if you allow DNS, so it will check irrespective of port whether the traffic is DNS or not. So it can have capability to identify the content, whether let's suppose I want to block a PDF file, that have capability to block that. If I want to some apply DLP, data filtering, data leakage prevention, I don't want anyone can share sensitive information like credit card information, PAN card, Aadhaar card. For that also we can create a policy for DOS attack, for the antivirus, anti-malware, URL filtering, URL category. That option we have, and from that option we can take a action. Palo Alto have huge database and huge signature, and from that basis of signature also it protects from attack. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Yes.
So legacy firewall was working on the IP plus port, but next generation firewall is works on the application layer. It has capability for deep inspection. Let's suppose IP can be changed. Any machine can change the IP. Content, yeah, deep inspection. Deep inspection kind of DNA inspection. Let's suppose you can do the plastic surgery. You can change your face. You can save your hair. You can grow your hair, your beard. But you can't change your DNA. So whenever DNA will be tested, you can easily identify it. The Palo Alto, yeah, next generation firewall have capability to identify that. Okay. What is a Palo Alto? First, we'll understand Palo Alto. Palo Alto is a city in California, San Francisco, which Bay Area in USA. It's in USA, and it's developed by Neer Jurk, which was earlier working in Checkpoint. Okay, and then he went to the bankrupt and all. After that, he developed Palo Alto. Cisco is also named after city, which is Francisco. Okay, are you guys aware about this terminology? This one. So Cisco is also named after city, and Palo Alto also a city name in USA. As of now, here it mentions 70,000. The company serves over 80,000 customers worldwide in 150 countries. Okay, and 75 plus. I'll tell you exact number. Palo Alto. Why Palo Alto? I'll be covering Wikipedia. So here this company serves over 70,000, but there is a report they means Palo Alto serving more than 80,000 company, serving 80,000 company organized in over 125, including 85 of the 100 Fortune 100 company. Means it's out of 100, it's serving 85 Fortune 100 company. Means most company relying on the Palo Alto only. It's that's why it's reliable and huge in demand. Okay, so we'll cover one by one. Means how. So we'll come to the GUI part and CLI of the Palo Alto. I'll cover. One second, what happened to this one? Okay, now let's suppose first I'll take access of my Palo Alto devices from CLI. Anyone who has already worked on Palo Alto CLI, GUI, anything? 192.168.29.50. admin. Whenever you log in Palo Alto, I have already changed. From next class, I'll using fresh firewall. Here I have already changed the password. Default username and password is admin. Okay, admin. When you will type admin, it will ask you to prompt you to change the password, and then after you have to change the password. Okay. Now I'll log into the CLI. In here also in CLI, Palo, let me increase the font size, then it would be visible to you. Yeah, Ramesh, are you saying something? Palo Alto have two mode. One is this is called operational mode, and if you'll go to the configure, this is called configuration mode. If you want to switch from one mode to another mode, you can type exit, and if you want to go to the configuration mode, you need to type configure. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Someone is asking for link. Let me share. And one before we go to the deep, how many of you only interested in Palo Alto? How many of you want both combo of Palo Alto and F5? Yeah, few of you are only interested in F5. Ramesh, Prem, Manoj,
I'm
Devendra.
interested
Sorry, interested for?
both Palo Alto
Oh,
as well.
okay,
Uh,
Prem. Ramesh,
yeah, I too.
uh, what about you, Balasundar, Alan, Devendra, Manoj?
Yes.
Yes means Palo Alto. You guys need to tell means which course you are interested in.
I'm interested in both.
Alan. Okay. What about you, Manoj?
Yeah, both, sir. But
Okay.
I just need to change if you will give me a Palo Alto plus application security, then it will fine for.
Palo Alto plus application security means WAF.
Yes.
Do you have already experience on LTM?
Yes, sir. I know that very well and I have experience of.
Okay, fine. Yeah, we can do that. No worry. So in Palo Alto, we have two mode. Quickly, I'll have half an hour, so we'll complete Palo Alto. Then we'll switch to the F5 LTM. Okay. So Palo Alto we have two mode. One is operational mode and configuration mode. In operational mode, we can run operation related command, reboot, show, list, such type of command, and it's appear like this one. In configuration mode, if you want to configure something, you can use the configuration by putting quit or exit. We can switch the mode. Operational mode using for operational and view command. Configuration we use configuration mode to view and modify the configuration. Okay. Let's suppose if I want to see the some information, so system, and if you will type double tap, it will give you the hint. So system, and after that, if you will type tab again, it will auto complete the command. So system in, and if I'll tab, see. So I'll get the all the info related system, like what is the host name of the firewall, management IP, net mask, gateway, each and everything. If you out of this, if you want to see any, if you want to, I only want IP address. Okay. Yeah, IP. So it will filter out only IP related. So let's suppose here is IP appearing. So it's showing IP here, public IP address, IP this one. So that we can create a filter. If you want to go to the configure and configure here, if you type question mark, you will see check, commit, copy, delete, edit. These command I can run in the configuration. If you type Control L, screen would be clear, and again you can hit enter. In Palo Alto, if I want to ping any IP, what is the command? Ping, and if I'll do question mark, here you can see these can be added like how many packet want to send, what would be interval, size, source. But there is one star means host. I need host is mandatory. I need to type host, and after that I can type 8.8.8. Means without if I'll remove host, then it will throw like it's a syntax error, something like that, invalid syntax. I can't run. Let's suppose if I want to go to the configure, configure mode, and from here I want to run the ping host 8.8.8.8. It will not work because we can't run operational related command into the configuration mode. In Cisco also we have option. If I want to run something in Cisco, let's suppose we are in configuration mode and I want to ping something. Yeah, run show command. How we can do that? Hello, are you guys already worked on Cisco?
Yes.
How we can do that? By putting do in prefix, correct? Do ping, do so IP
Yeah,
interface brief, correct? Here
yes.
that command is run. By putting run, if I'll put run here and then I'll type ping host 8.8.8, it will work. Correct. So if you want to run any operational related command in configuration mode, you have to put run as a prefix. If I let me show, so there is no hint of level. So system even I have to type exact command. There is no hint available here. So system info. So it's throwing invalid syntax. Let's suppose if I'll put run here, then I can get the value. Okay. So it's clear now. If you want to run anything in the configuration mode, if you want to run some operational limited operational related command in configuration mode, you need to put run as a prefix. Okay. If I want to go to the I'm configuration mode, I want to go to the operational mode, you need to type exit, yeah, quit. It will go, then you are in admin. Okay. If I want to show interface management IP only, you can type show interface management. You will see management IP and all the things byte received on a management interface, what was the error, receive error, something. Each and every detail you will find here. Okay, I'll share you this PPT with you. You guys can go through it. Exit and quit to switch from configuration mode to operational mode. Tab key automatically complete the command. This is allow you to filter command. By putting match, you can create a filter. Plus, it indicates you can add some extra information. A star is mandatory. This indicate there is additional nested command. Question mark shows list of available command appears. Commit is save candidate config. If you want to do any changes, you have to type commit after that. Here, if you come to the CLI, I'll explain this part. Here it's showing admin. Admin is a username and test firewall is a host name, and this is appearing. We are in operation mode. Okay. Let's suppose one more thing. In Palo Alto supports thousands lakhs of command. How I can sort? Let's suppose find command. If you hit enter, it will show you all the supported command here, and you will see it's a 10,000 lakhs of command. So we can, let's suppose I want to find something. So find keyword. So I want to see the show related command. So if you type here, it will appear all the show related command. Okay. So we can filter as well. Let's suppose I want to see the show interface. It will not take. I can give interface only. So it will show you all the interface related command like interface group ID interface means whatever interface related command it will appear. So there is a command find command and after that you can search all the command. Okay, clear? Similarly, we'll go to the GUI. So whatever we can perform from CLI, we have option to perform from GUI as well. In GUI, we have 7 mode, not 7 mode, 7 tab. Okay. So here you'll see Palo Alto have 7 tab dashboard, application command center, monitor, policy, object, network, devices. In dashboard, you can see the dashboard view. In here, you will see as of now it's 3 column, one column, two column, second column, and third column. If you want to change it to 2 column, you can do that. Now it will appear in 2 column only, correct? If you want to add something and remove something on dashboard, it's kind of monitoring. Let's suppose I don't want to see config log, you can delete it. If you don't want to see ACC risk log, you can delete it. If you want to see in 3 column, if you want to add some widgets like I want to see top application, you can add it easily. And I can arrange like this one. Okay, I want to see the system relation. I want to see high availability command and I want to PL. So you can rearrange dashboard as per your requirement. Okay. SCC is totally for the reporting application command center. Monitoring for log means if you want to see the traffic log, threat log, URL filtering, wildfire, data filtering, heap match, each and everything will appear here. Then policy, creating security policy, NAT policy, quality of services, each and everything will appear here. Object, let's suppose if you want to create address object, application, custom application, profile, antivirus, NTS firewall, vulnerability, URL, these things will come here. So today demo I'll not go in much detail, but we have option each and everything. Network means how you can create a zone, interfaces, VLAN, tunnel, each and everything, it will come into the network. Then devices mean device related information. If you want to change the management IP, taking backup, services, high availability configuration, certificate related update, all thing will come into this tab. Okay. If you want to change your this logo, I have already changed to the ITS skill path. You can see that we have that option also. If you want to see the customize the logo, you can customize that. As of now, I have uploaded the ITS skill path logo. If I'll commit it, it will start appearing the Palo Alto logo. Okay. Content ID, wildfire, session, HSM, each and everything we can, and whatever changes we made after that, we need to perform the commit. This is the whenever you it's a welcome page, it will give you the overview of the Palo Alto. Here it appear the admin means user ID, which user I'm using, logout if you want to the logout, when I log in. So it's a time zone is different, that's why it's showing different time. If you want to do some searches, you can do it from here. If you want to compare the configuration, you can compare it from here. We have option config log. Let's suppose in your organization, one firewall have 4 engineers same time working, and they are created some policy and trying to commit at same time. So there could be conflict. So best use case is you can put a log. Let's suppose I'm first time working. I'll put a log. Once I'm done with complete, I'm done with my work. I can remove my log. So if log is present, no one can commit during that time. After once I done with my changes, I can release a log. log. Every time when we make a changes, we have to perform the commit. What is the use case of commit and all? I'll cover in detail in class. Okay, now we'll see how we can create a policy and all. First, what I'll do, by default, there is two policy on the Palo Alto. One is intra-zone default, and yes, Sahil, you were saying something. Sahil, any query?
Uh, no, no, sir.
Okay, okay, Sahil.
Just join actually.
Okay, okay, no worry. So class started at now at 9 exactly. So I think you were a
Okay.
bit late, but we have recorded session.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, today's demo, I am only giving you the overview of the syllabus and what I'm going to cover.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay. So we have two kind of policy, intra-zone default and inter-zone default. Anyone aware about what is intra-zone and what is inter-zone?
So intra-zone means if we want to communicate from one zone to another zone. Inter-zone means if we want to communicate from one zone, that means same zone.
Correct. Intra-zone means two different zone. What is the zone? If anyone not aware, will cover in detail. So Palo Alto zone-based firewall, we create a zone. So two different zone policy is not allowed by default. Same zone policy is allowed. Here you can see that it's inter-zone and it's a inter-zone policy. Two different zone is inter-zone and inter-zone policy is deny. And intra-zone is same zone and that is allowed. Okay. Now we have firewall here. Let's suppose I open my PC. If I'll try to access internet, let me see whether it's working or not. By default on Palo Alto firewall, any other firewall, by default everything is denied. If you want to allow something, you need to create a policy. Even if I'll try to ping 8.8.8.8, it is not working. And that is expected because we don't have any policy. Okay. To make it allow, what I'll do, I'll go to the Palo Alto firewall and I'll create a test internet policy. Test internet policy. Okay. Source zone is, let's suppose I'm going from trust zone because this is my enterprise network. I have created trust zone. Raj, can you please mute yourself? Okay. Trust zone 2, if I want to go to the destination zone, on trust zone and any destination application, let's suppose I'll take a Google and I'll take a Google base. I mean, that's how, let's suppose I can create a application based policy. I mean, Palo Alto have a visibility to the application. Let's suppose I want to allow Facebook. See, even in Facebook, there are different application. If I want to allow Facebook chat, only Facebook chat will available. If I want to allow Facebook, but I want to block chat, yeah, posting, yeah, file sharing, that option we have, we can do that. I for a DNS, I need to allow the DNS and also SSL. What are the terminology will be covering in next class? That would be too advanced for the demo session. And I'll go to the service URL category and action. I'll log at session and allow. Okay. And I'll commit it. Before commit, we have option to preview the changes. Yeah, it's showing some error. I'll do the commit. Now commit is running. If you want to see the task, you can task from here. You can see that it's 98%. Once it's done, I'll go to the my PC. Where is my PC? This is my PC. From here, I'll try to initiate some log. If it is not working, we have done some mistake. Okay. Completed. Trojan to a on Trojan, DNS, Facebook, Google, and I'll come here. I'll try to access. Google is working. I'll try to access Facebook. Facebook.com. Seems it's also working. Facebook, I got the access. I'll try to access youtube.com. Here you can see that it's working, but when I try to access ping is not working. Why? Anyone?
Ping service is not allowed. Okay.
Yes, in policy you will see ping is not allowed. So we have granularly controlled the policy. I only allowed, even if you'll see, if I try to access Instagram, it was also getting dropped. Okay. Instagram was also not accessible. YouTube also, YouTube, YouTube means YouTube was even not allowed. Okay. If I want to see the log for this one, show session all, you can see that. Let's suppose I want to see the Google Play session. Sh- Show session ID 191. Here you can see that Palo Alto maintained two kind of session, not session. In one session there are two flow. One is C2S flow and one is S2C flow. What is the C2S and S2C flow? Anyone?
Hello. So, C2 means client to server and server to client.
Server to client.
Yes, yes, correct. And so source zone, you can see that 10.1.1.10 IP, it's a source IP, destination is this one, protocol is 6. What does it mean?
ICMP. Protocol ICMP.
TCP. Protocol number 6 is 6 means TCP. If there is appearing 17, it means it's a DNS traffic. Source port is always random, destination port is 443. And if you'll see in return traffic, this IP has become source and destination is 11.1.1.1. 11.1.1 is why it's appearing, because there is NAT is happening. From this you can identify there is some NAT is happening, and NAT type is that one. It's a NAT rule is already created. You can see that timeout in 90 seconds when initiated, how many bytes shared, what was the application name, what is the ingress interface, what is the egress interface,
Egress method.
each and every info you can see. If you want to see it, why NAT was happening, without NAT internet will not work. You guys must be aware. If not aware, will be covering during the session. Nat one, I by mistakes I type that one. And if you come here, you will see I am doing the dynamic IP and port. So means everything will be translated behind the one IP. Clear? So first of all, why next generation firewall? Why Palo Alto firewall? Palo Alto has visibility to the app ID. So it can identify real app detection, then user ID, it can identify user base, you can create user date policy and its ID. Irrespective of IP, it has capability to identify user. Then content ID. Threat detection. For threat detection, we can check the content. Irrespective of traffic, we can check the content. Single pass parallel processing. Single pass means it can enhance the performance. So what is the single pass performance? Parallel processing will cover. Okay, in next. From we'll start from basic means Palo Alto have 4 deployment mode, layer 3, then layer 2, then VWire, yeah, transparent, then we have tap mode. Tap is mainly used for the POC, but we'll see in the lab as well how we can configure the tap mode. Okay. Any query related to Palo Alto?
No, sir.
Okay. Now we'll, if there is no query, we'll move to the F5 LTM. Anyone which already working? Anyone? Vishal, hi Vishal. Ramesh, Raj, Manoj, Devender, Sahil.
Yes, sir.
Query related to Palo Alto? Timing, content, lab, anything?
Yeah, related labs, sir. How many labs is there related to Palo Alto?
How many labs are there means? For
Then,
every topic there is a lab and I'll demonstrate in the lab. Okay, each and
okay.
every topic. Similarly, in F5 LTM, I'll session highlight timing and all will not cover. What I'm going to cover introduction of F5 portfolio, big IP TMOS architecture, what is the TMOS traffic management operating system, initial big IP setup, component, how we can request for the licensing, how we can do the licensing of then how we can create a self IP, each and everything. Then what is the virtual server pool, node profiles and monitors. That thing I am going to cover. Okay. What is the load balancing method? NAT as NAT. Module means module for operation administrator. And how we can troubleshoot from CLI, how we can take a TCP dump, how we can analyze in Wireshark, how we can configure some backup and restore using backup, upgrade big IP software in HA, how we can do that upgrade in real time scenario without impacting current setup means there should be no outage, how we can manage DAC device clustering, HA, uh, active and active passive. What is iHealth? iHealth is a tool provided by F5 which is free of cost. You can use that and you can upload that QKV file on iHealth. You can analyze what is QKV file. I'll cover during the class in like Cisco and Palo Alto and other firewall. There is support file in F5 terminology. It's called a QKV file. Okay. Then troubleshooting methodology. What is the best practice to troubleshoot that? What is the I rule? Anyone aware about I rule? That is a very advanced feature of the F5. If some feature by default not available in the F5, we through I rule we can achieve that, like redirection, HTTP to HTTPS redirection. Let's suppose we have two server in backend. I want if someone is using Android, that should always go to the server two. If someone is using MacBook, iOS, it should go to the server 2. That we can achieve through maintenance page. If some site is down, redirect to the maintenance. That is also we can achieve through I rule. F5 certification guideline guidance. If anyone preparing for the certification, you can do that. Basic knowledge. What is the basic knowledge required? OSI concept should be clear. TCP3 check is clear. Basic Linux because F5 is developed on the Linux, so basic Linux for troubleshooting is needed. If you don't have knowledge about Linux, I'll cover during the class. Networking basics. Who should attend this training? Network engineer, F5 specialist, an engineer who is already working and want to enhance their skill, preparing for the certification. Now we'll start with F5 ADC, Application Delivery Controller. It's not limited to a simply a load balancer. It provide all hello complete solution for the application hosting. What is F5?
F5 is a company name.
Yes, and big IP.
Big, big IP, it means F5. Big IP is a company name that is, that means,
F5 is a company. Okay. And big IP.
is a
Big
product.
IP is a platform. LTM, GTM, ASM, WAF, APM, AWG, AFM, these are the major. AWG is Secure Web Gateway. Okay, Application Firewall Manager. LTM we are going to cover it. This is the much demanded module and ASM as well. Nowadays all three are in demand because in AI era one data center can't manage this huge data. We need multiple data center. We need always high availability. So that the reason we need multiple data center in so LTM, what is the LTM means?
Local traffic management.
What is local traffic manager touch?
Local traffic, it means within a, it means data center we want to uh, balance, it means achieve a load balancing. Then we have user LTM. If we have two different data center, then we have user GTM. Because active, that means we have that means having a primary and it means DR and PR like that.
Yeah, correct. This is the client and trying to access some hosted application over internet. It's a called LTM. Why it's called LTM? Because local traffic manager. What LTM does? It do the load balancing between among the available server. Okay, that is LTM. So before and why it's local call? Because our F5 devices, LTM device, and these are the server 1 and server 2, both are in same data center. That's why it's called local traffic manager. Okay, and DNS, it's a called GTM as well. Yeah, intelligent DNS. Yeah, global traffic manager. Earlier it was named as a GTM. So let's suppose here we have one data center DC1 in US and DC2 in UK. Both the data center have router, firewall, switches, F5 servers, each and everything. And if you want to do the load balancing between these two data center, yeah, let's suppose DC1 DR concept, one is data center, one is disaster recovery. I want our application should be always available. In that case, we use GTM. Two, it's a DNS as well. Its name is DNS. Okay. Then application security manager WAF from provide security from layer 7 attack, provide security from WASP, and also if you want to comply with compliances like PCDSS and other compliances using ASM, we can do that. APM provide the VPN and SSL solution. Then SWG secure web gateway for secure web gateway application firewall manager. I rule full proxy architecture will cover. Okay. Product line which we already covered LTM, DNS, Big IQ, FM, WAP, SSL architecture. For SSL, we have separate device, DDoS. We have dedicated product for this one. Now, before we'll move to the next topic, we'll understand the legacy architecture. Before F5 LTM, how Yeah, any load balancer. How any application was working before LTM? Hello, anyone? Legacy architecture. Let's suppose when we didn't had let's suppose we have one application www.abc.com, which is critical application. How we were accessing before any load balancer devices.
It work like a DNS. So we have no DNS. So whatever DNS having it, we have add a multiple background application on a domain name
Okay.
like that work.
So let's suppose we have www.abc.com and we have many server application server. This server IP is let's suppose 100.1.1.1.1. This server is 1.1.1.1.2. This server is 100.1.1.1.3 and this server is 100.1.1.1.4. Okay. We know this is server A, app server B, server C, server D. One server can't handle the traffic in that way. This was a very critical application. Millions of users trying to access at same time. So what we did a DNS mapping. How DNS work? Name to IP resolution. What is the work of DNS? FQDN to IP, correct?
Yes.
And it can resolve to many IP. If you have done many IP resolution, randomly it will resolve to the many IP. Let's suppose if you guys have noticed, let's suppose you are doing google.com. If you'll do on period of time, you'll notice it's changing the IP. Okay. So means behind the one IP, there is a different A record we have created. So for abc.com, let's suppose we have four IP, 100.1.1.1.1, 100.1.1.1.2, 100.1.1.1.3 and 100.1.1.4. Let's suppose this user is try to access abc.com. If it is resolving to 100.1.1.1, it will go to the server A. Okay. For this user, if will try to access abc, might be there is chance it will get a server B IP. Similarly for this user C, and if for this user if it is resolving to, so kind of round robin it was resolving to a randomly IP, and if it is resolved to a 4 IP it will go to the server D, if it is resolved to 3 go to the server C. This was just solving our purpose. Let's suppose we got some utilization, high utilization this server. If we want to add one more server, we can easily add that, and we can add here 100.1.1.5 as well. Okay. That's how we were working before LTM any load balancer. This was solving our purpose. Then what is the issue? Why we need a load balancer if this was solving our purpose?
The issue is like that intelligent forwarding. The DNS it means doesn't have a intelligence forwarding. So that is the
What
problem.
what does it mean?
Health checkup. At least load balancer having a health checkup, it means monitor
Yes,
the
correct,
backend
correct.
server.
Okay, okay, okay. Anyone else? So let's suppose there is some issue. Server did went down. So DNS don't have any kind of monitoring health check status. What it will do, there are four server, 25% user there is chances they will try to connect with 1.4 and 1.4 is down. Since DNS has don't have any kind of monitoring, it will still resolve to 1.4 IP and 24% 5% user the side there is outage, single point of failure. Okay. If let's suppose utilization is 90% of the device, there would be slowness, and since DNS don't have kind of monitoring, it will still try to resolve to the that IP, and there it be. slowness will be observed. Here you can see that one server, one application is highly utilized, 90%, rest is 30%. For let's suppose one application is trying to access from server A, this is utilization high, there would be slowness, means 25% user is slowness. Then load balancer in came in picture. What it do? It came in the maintain high availability, means always application is available, even though something will go down. Equally distribute the traffic, optimize server resources, protect app from attack. How we are protecting from attack, I'll let you know. Replicating access control policy across all the server, reducing support cost. Okay, from this picture you will see earlier what was happening. Client was directly sending connection to the application server, means let's suppose this server IP is 100.1.1.1.100. Exposing our backend server on internet is a risk. Correct, Manoj? It's a
Yes,
huge
yes,
risk
sir.
to
Yes, sir.
exposing our internet. So if attacker have your IP that can easily attack, means probability will increase. To prevent that, what we did, we will introduce load balancer LTM. What LTM does, it monitor the backend server status, server 1, server 2, server 3, server 4. And again, we'll take a example of 100.1.1.1.1, 100.1.1.1.2, 100.1.1.1.3, 100.1.1.1.4. So let's suppose one server goes down, what it will do immediately, it will stop the sending traffic, and remaining server will remain active and it will send the traffic. So that's how we are maintaining high availability, means application is always available. Here IP of the is 100 on here. Let's suppose I have created some virtual IP, VIP IP, and will not expose our internal IP. On internally, we'll might be assigning the private IP as well. Okay, 10.10.10. So that's how we are uh, providing security as well. What are the other? Distribute client traffic across multiple server. Now we have multiple server. It will distribute based on the load balancing algorithm. Improve application availability. If server goes down, there is no impact. Prevent server overload and downtime. If server is overload, we'll get a alert or something. Based on the monitoring, it will not send the traffic to the that problematic. So provide traffic visibility up to layer 4 to layer 7. If you want to change in HTTP header and all, we can easily do that. If you want to scale application infrastructure, we can add a server easily. Earlier, we had dependency on the DNS team. Improve application performance. Why this is coming? 1 second. Eliminate single point of failure. Earlier, what was the issue? There was single server. If any issue, application was not available. Okay, that's how we can prevent from these things. Secure application traffic. We can secure, and also we are enhancing performance of the application. How we are enhancing the performance? By many way. First, we are equally distributing the traffic and SSL offloading. What is the SSL offloading? Anyone aware about it?
So SSL offloading means it means create a connection between client to the big IP, secure connection, and SSL means SSL offloading certificate will upload at the big IP, and the plain connection will send the F5 to the backend server.
Oh, Raj, what is HTTP and HTTPS? Are you guys aware about HTTP and HTTPS?
Yes, HTTPS means HTTP means plain that is work on port 80, and HTTPS is a secure that is work on 443 port number.
80 and 443, yes.
So it's a port is 80 and this one is 443. This happen communication happens in plain text. There it's in encrypted text. How it become encryption? Encrypted text. We have to do the encryption. For encryption, we need a key, and for need a key, we have to perform the SSL handshake. And SSL handshake, there are for key generation, there are two methods: asymmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. Using asymmetric encryption for SSL, we have dedicated 1 2 hour session. Okay, I'll explain in this. I'll give you bit overview. So for SSL for key generation, there is extensive process like client first S. One second. Whenever browser initiate any connection, first connection goes to the port 80. After that redirection happen, it goes to the 443. And after that we need a key. Then SSL handshake happen. Okay. After handshake, we get a key for encryption and decryption. That is very extensive process. It might degrade the performance of the backend server. That the reason what we do from client is on internet from F5 in data center and backend server is also in data center. Correct? Same data centers. Here to here we send a 443 HTTPS traffic, encrypted traffic, and from here to here, since our backend server and since our F5 and backend server same data center, we can send a plain text traffic. Okay, on port 80. Okay, so that's how we can enhance the performance. And since it's a full proxy architecture, we are doing this. For F5 is a full proxy architecture. What is a full proxy architecture?
So full
Cli-
proxy architecture.
Yeah, okay, Manoj. I think you are already working. That's why you are aware. It maintain two separate connection. One is from client to F5 and one is F5 to backend server. It's a parallel connection. Okay. So this connection is called front end and this connection is called backend. This is also called client side since client is initiating. Client means actual user which is coming from internet, yeah, from internal as well. And this is called server side because these are our application server. Okay. So it maintain a two separate connection. How it maintain? I'll be covering in detail from next class. From tomorrow 9 p.m. we are starting the F5 LTM class. 2 3% has already enrolled. Okay, and this offer is valid for the today only. And let's suppose if you have paid one time, if you want to take redo class, you can take anytime. Let's suppose my batch is starting next month. If you want to attend that session as well, you can do that. Like Vishal is from my previous session.
Yeah,
I
sir.
don't know
Hmm.
why he has joined again. What was the issue in that session, bro?
ओ एक्चुअली सर समझ में नहीं आ रहा था मतलब फर्स्ट टाइम मैं ये सब देख रहा हूँ सर इसलिए
Okay, okay, no worry. So you have not worked on F5 and Palo Alto as well. And you, I think, missed many classes, correct?
या सर
Anyway, if you missed any class, you will get a recording. You can go through the recording. If you find it's very hard to go through the recording, you can again enroll for the next session. Okay. So I was saying full proxy architecture. F5 is a full proxy architecture. What is a proxy and proxy type? I'll be covering from next class. I'll wind up this session in next 10 minutes. Full proxy, it maintain two separate connection. What is the benefit of that? It completely understand application behavior. It can examine both request and response packet. So here if you'll see full proxy architecture means before connection established there is TCP three-way handshake happen. SYN, client send a SYN packet. F5 will reply with SYN plus ACK. Then client will send a ACK. Once front end is done, F5 will initiate a connection with backend server. Again, we'll send a SYN packet, backend will reply plus SYN plus ACK. Everyone, TCP 3 way handshake is not clear, we will find difficulty. Okay, so please go through it. Since in ACK and ACK, it's a called front end and it's a back end. Okay, and after that, one edge connection is established. If client is sending application data, we can modify and send to the backend server. If client is sending encrypted, we can decrypt it and send plain text communication to the backend server. If client is sending compressed data, we can decompress and send uncompressed due to the uncompressed data to the backend server. Okay, these are the benefit of the full proxy architecture. By default, whenever you purchase F5, you get IP is 192.168.1.245. Okay, and by default username is root for the CLI and default, and here it's also a default only. Okay, why 245? If you'll see in Palo Alto and other devices 1.1, because once you will convert it to hexadecimal, you will find last octet is 245. IP to hexadecimal converter. 192.168.1.245. If you'll convert to hexadecimal, you will see last octet is appearing is F5. That's why F5 choose this IP as a default IP. Okay. By default, we can't perform any lab into the F5 without license. But for there is a solution. F5 provide 30 days. If you register on the portal, you will get two license for the 30 days. Using that license, what you can do, you can access to the F5 and renew the license. How we can request for the license, how we can renew our devices using license, we'll cover from next class. Okay, so we'll go from basic. First we'll cover how we can request for the licenses, how we can do the licensing of the devices, how we can configuration, basic configuration, VLAN, self IP, each and everything will cover. Okay. Meanwhile, anyone having any query in this topology I was using in morning, where I'll be covering HA. How we can create HA, how we can create active, how we can create active standby setup. Okay. Any query, anyone, you guys can ask.
Hi, this is Raj. Okay.
Yeah, Raj.
So
Go
I
ahead.
joined late. I think 9:45 I have joined. Okay. So coming to
Okay.
Palo Alto Firewall.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you explained some about app ID, user ID, and content ID, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
coming to routing part, what kind of things you have covered, like OSPF, BGP, RAP version 2. So mainly what kind of routing protocols we are
I'll
doing
I'll
lab
I'll
related.
cover everything. Means how we can enable, how we can configure, how
Okay.
even VPN, OSPF, each and everything I'll cover. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
Yes.
coming to VPN also site to site IPsec and the global
Yes.
routers will cover, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, anyone having any query, you guys can ask. Ramesh, Himanshu, Manoj. So similarly in F5 there is two mode. One is called bash mode and one is called Teamer shell. Big IP, big IP at the rate 123. This is called, if is appearing in this one is called bash mode. And if you want to go to the TMS cell, you can go to the TMSH. Okay. Here you can run list show related command. TMO cell, you can see that. If you want to run into bash, you can type qt, yeah, bash, bash, you can go it. But here you need to bash. Why it's not going? It box is showing inoperative. It takes some time. Okay. Whenever we do the restart, restarting as of now, it's in whenever I start, there is some processor runs in the backend. So there is two mode, one is bash and one is TMOS. In TMOS, you can run show, list, such type of command, and bash you mainly use. If you want to see the IP, so what is the command in Linux? It's if config, you can run this command. If config. Okay. If you want uname minus a, you'll see it's developed on Linux. That's why we need basic understanding of Linux to work on F5 LTM. So how we can troubleshoot, how we can check the log, how we can where F5 has stored the objects and all, each and everything in detail I'll be covering in F5 class. Okay. So we'll start this class from tomorrow. Palo Alto. Thanks for sharing link. I joined. Hi Manshu. I think you joined late again, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I joined at 10 o'clock.
Why, bro? Timing was 9 only.
Yeah, I missed that. Apology from my side.
Okay, no worry. If you need, I can share you the recording.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's so
what
nice of
I
you. Thank you.
what I was explaining, I forgot that. So F5 we have two session is going to start. One is 11 to 1 p.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and one is 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And for Palo Alto 9:30 to 10:30 on weekdays. Okay. If
Uh,
there is no query,
yeah.
we can close the session. And
The
if you
fire
guys, yeah,
Palo
yeah,
Alto Firewall every I think 9:30 10:30, right? You mentioned.
yeah, yeah.
So how many hours required totally completion of the course?
Approx 50 to 55 hours.
55 hours. No, since 55 days, right? Max.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not about days. I'll try to cover on topic. Let's suppose I'm covering on topic, and if it is stretch little bit, so I try to complete that. So I started at 9:30. Sometime it's 10:40, 10:45. Sometime 10:50, something like that. Okay. So it's not exactly I'll close at 10:30.
This is
I
only for
try.
training. This is only for training or mock interviews also you people are providing.
What?
Mock interviews like preparing
Yeah,
any
yeah.
this
We do
kind of
provide.
questions.
We do provide. We do
Okay.
provide.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys. If no query, we'll close the session. See you tomorrow at same time for the F5 for Palo Alto 9:30 Monday.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for joining the session. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.